This was the movement of teenage brides and very young girls up to 12 or 13 years old.
They're being forced to marry older men.
Well, I don't think they should be married quite so young.
Absolutely, it's definitely a cult.
I feel so dang bad at the sorrow the women go through.
When I go to bed at night, I'm in tears.
Just north of the Arizona border, in a little town called Laverkin, Utah, about 40 people recently got together to share a potluck dinner and to share some rather shocking stories. Stories about the alleged abuse of young girls inside a nearby polygamous community known as Colorado City, Arizona.
Do we have a cult out there? Is it a cult?
Absolutely, it's a cult. Fits it to a T.
Cult.
Cult.
The stories, every time you turn around, there's another story of a victim with an abuse tale to tell.
Reality for life of women in that community is abuse, sexual abuse. It's soul murder.
Colorado City resident Lenore Holm helped put together the potluck dinner. She was also there to tell her story.
I feel like my daughter is a victim. I feel like the fact that I love her victimizes me.
And Lenore says she has felt like a victim ever since her beloved daughter Nicole, at the age of 16, was allegedly told by Colorado City's religious leaders to run away from Lenore's home to become the second wife of a 39-year-old polygamist man who already had a wife and 10 children. Lenore objected, but she says her daughter followed the orders of religious leaders and ran off anyway. And now, to make matters worse, Lenore says because she tried to stop her daughter from entering a polygamist union, she and her family are being evicted from their Colorado City home, a home that Lenore's husband built, but a home that sits on church-owned land.
They own everybody in town. Everybody's living in fear. All I want is to not lose everything we have, including my family. And I just wish that these people would leave us alone.
Over the last few months, 3TV has followed Lenore's story as she first tried to get Colorado City police to help find her daughter and return the child home. A request that Lenore says produced absolutely no results other than more harassment for her. Because, Lenore says, most of the town's cops are practicing polygamists who take their marching orders from the town's polygamist leaders.
They're trying to communicate to me that I don't have the right to go in there and make a complaint about the fact that my daughter could be being raped right now by a 39-year-old man.
I would say the majority no. 15 and 14-year-olds do not get married.
Sam Roundy is Colorado City's police chief.
I understand many of the law officers have young wives.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. That's personal business, and you talk about your personal business.
I'm not married to teenage girls.
Neither am I.
Okay, are any of your officers?
No, they are not.
None of them. None of the law officers in this town are married.
Actually, I'll make no comment on that, okay? It's none of your business.
You're sworn law officer. You're accountable to somebody. You got to complain in this town.
But we're not accountable to you. Now get that straight.
Colorado City's Mayor Dan Barlow is believed to have at least 5 wives, and like most polygamous leaders, the mayor not very receptive to reporters' questions.
The media is a farce. Don't you know that?
Do you think you're ever going to get to the bottom of this? You ever going to get your daughter back?
I don't know.
But not giving up, Lenore's next stop was in Kingman, where she told her story to Mojave County Attorney Bill Ekstrom and a county supervisor, Buster Johnson.
We're not talking about barking dogs or littering. We're talking about human rights violations, and it's really upsetting when you don't see anybody stepping forward to protect the rights of our human beings here.
But despite the tough talk, all that was 3 months ago, and Lenore's daughter has still not returned, which leads us back to that recent potluck dinner in Utah, where suddenly law enforcement officers from outside Arizona seem to be taking a very serious interest in stories like Lenore's. This man is a specially appointed investigator with the Utah Attorney General's office, assigned to look into alleged polygamist wrongdoing. Also now on the case, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
I'm saying that there's enough evidence to show that young girls are being taken from here up there and brought down.
So young girls being transported over an international border.
Yes.
Why are these girls being
transported like this?
Because they're being placed into arranged marriages.
Fabian Dawson is a veteran Canadian journalist, and he says Canadian cops are now investigating after evidence recently surfaced suggesting that young girls, including Lenore's daughter, are routinely shuffled back and forth from Colorado City across the Canadian border to a polygamous commune in British Columbia, where the girls are then allegedly placed in arranged marriages with older polygamist men. A cause for concern in his country, and he wonders why not here.
I think there needs to be a concerted, intelligent effort to look at what polygamy is all about, what the power structure is, what the financial structure is.
What is it?
Well, I think it's all about power, and a few men control power, and they do what they wish.